The birth of a host. There have been a lot of theories concerning the process by which a person becomes a reptilian host. It is speculated that hosting runs in bloodlines, reincarnation of the hosted spirit, or just that this entity chooses its abode indiscriminately. We do not have any definite concrete explanations. It could be any or all of the above. Any one of us could be a target or a potential host. Our strengths will come from the awareness of our vulnerabilities and also the knowledge of the process that takes place as a person is hosted. My purpose here is to share my observations of the hosting process and let all come to their own conclusions. Predisposition. From my own observations, there seems to be a set group of characteristics of potential victims. The following are ones I have noted. The person may have a higher IQ than most. They may have a lot of personal charisma or a charming personality, personal power capabilities. They may have exceptional physical beauty or good looks. They may have money or access to it, even if it's not their own. They may have an exceptional talent in the arts or computers. They may work or have access to communications such as the media, which entails radio, TV, newspaper, and the web. They may be a high achiever with much education or advanced degrees or licensing. They may be in a position to get things done, or in a position of power or authority over many others. These individuals may have had a drug history or a present set of conditions which lead to drug/alcohol abuse. They may have a history of back problems. Most remember a supernatural occurrence from their childhood, and many refuse to discuss it. They may lack a firm religious belief system on a personal level. Of course, we could say that this group represents most of us, and that is correct. What we need to remember is that these entities seek out individuals that they can use to their advantage. The ones in positions to make worldly changes or get a message out through the media are prime targets. Others who affect smaller groups of people are equally important to them. They start at the grassroots levels as well as at the top and work their way through the mainstream of society, contaminating as many as possible. The agenda: to create as much chaos and conflict as possible to generate negativity amongst our society. They attempt to make us as they are. They feed off our negative emotions, whether it's passion, lust, greed, hate, envy or wrath. They wish to weaken our spirit to make it easier for them to take over. That is where they get their lifeblood on our planet. We do not know the full spectrum of their agenda. It may be an old long-term goal to destroy our species and colonize our Earth with genetically engineered hominid creatures that are a mixture of human, reptilian, and foreign DNA material. It could possibly not be that elaborate of a plan. We just do not know. All we know is they are not looking out for our best interest. The process: these are the steps I have identified observing this process of a normal person becoming hosted by a reptilian. Early symptoms: the person will have experiences in the form of dreams and/or physical visitations of reptilians, monsters, entities, demons, devils, vampires, or greys. The feelings during these experiences may be of confusion, fear, panic, or disgust. The person having these dreams may not remember the dreams or may dismiss them as merely bad dreams. People who do not believe in ETs or other phenomenon are just as susceptible to this process as any of us are. Remember, just because you may have these experiences does not mean you are or will be hosted. This is just an early symptom. Phase 1, in this stage, the person will experience a change in normal mood. He may feel anxiety, have mood swings, depression or agitation. This is a mood that builds in intensity. It might escalate into angry outbursts, crying spells, or morbid thought. Sleep is lost or disrupted. It is in this phase that the drug or alcohol use may begin. The individual tries to self-medicate the symptoms. They may go for counseling out of discomfort. They might make impulsive or bad decisions about jobs or relationships. The stronger the soul quality of the individual, the more discomfort the individual will have. Phase 2, at this phase, the symptoms of phase 1 will intensify. The body begins to show signs of stress and weakening. The person will do self-destructive things such as speeding, biting nails down to nubs, Self-mutilating activities such as body piercing, various body-altering cosmetic surgeries or other excuses to go under the knife. You may see excessive drug or alcohol abuse, very destructive relationship patterns, and may develop mental illness. A big question here which can be addressed later in another paper: is this a symptom of mental illness, or spiritual illness and oppression? The key symptom here to identify this stage is not just the severity of the symptoms but that others who are able to discern can see entities around or next to this individual. At this point the person is under attack. War has been waged upon this individual's spirit. The more spiritual the individual is determines how long this phase may last and how intense it will be. How the person deals with the attack in this phase can determine whether the person will or will not be hosted. At this stage, the process can be stopped and reversed. The individual has a choice at this point to end the process or to go on into the active phase. The whole point of the attack is to weaken the body and morale of the individual to make way for the reptilian intruder. Illness can be produced at this point and possibly devastating diseases such as cancer or autoimmune disorders. For active hosting phase, at this point the entities or entity goes into the individual using the body to act out its agenda. The person is not aware of what is going on, while the entity is quite lucid and aware of everything. The individual acts as if driven to reach whatever goals they are after. They are ruthless in behavior, attaining their goals and desires. All discomfort from the previous two stages is gone. The body still shows physical signs of deterioration, but the individual goes on with boundless energy. The host's chances of reversing the process are slimmer than ever and almost impossible at this point. Others around the host feel drained and tired. The host is seen by others as an energy vampire. The host, when the active hosting phase doesn't go away, the task is completed and the individual is now a walking, talking, fully functioning entity. I will refer to this entity now as the host. The phases are cyclic from phase 1 through the active phase. The movement between phases is slow at first as it moves toward the individual being hosted. Once in the active phase, the cycle may start over in phase 1 a few times, but eventually the period of time in the active phase lasts longer and longer until it stays there for years. The body is then owned and inhabited by the reptilian entity. The host will be seen taking unusually good care of his body in contrast to phases 1 and 2. The host will take vitamins, exercise, and drink spring water and spout vegetarianism and holistic health while sucking the energy from others around him. The host will discuss the benefits of monatomic gold, which allows them to shape-shift easier, but that's another discussion. The host will need all the resources possible to undertake his part in the reptilian agenda. The host is known for his ability to get things done. He has no conscience, therefore any boundaries to keep him from carrying out his agenda. The emotion of love and humanity is foreign to him. The host is also very visceral and body-oriented and dwells in the darker areas of sexuality. They like multiple partners and deviant sexual acts. They have disgusting habits and no understanding of manners or social awareness unless it furthers their agenda. At that time, they mimic societal behavior and demonstrate a pseudo-sensitivity and pseudo-emotions to create the illusion of a normal, caring person. Hosts are great manipulators of people through lies, mind games, and mind control techniques. They love to destroy the spiritual nature of all individuals they encounter. When in positions of political power, as they usually are, they play out their dramas, nation against nation, creating chaos, hate and destruction. Final years, after his purpose has been served, the host will sort of fade into the Yoda mode where he is there to teach and advise the younger hosts. Over the years, he has collected others of his kind and he spends time reminiscing old times. Memories of the early phases 1 and 2 are gone. The hosting process may seem frightening and somewhat hopeless. What we as individuals can do to prevent this process or stop it in our family members and friends is to educate the public on this phenomenon and teach techniques to stop the process before it gets to the point of no return. Discernment of the entity and being able to separate the person from the behavior and symptoms is a great step towards gaining control of this situation. Being aware you are under attack by these reptilians at any stage is a good first step. If you know you are being attacked, you can arm yourself. Nourishing your soul is another way to strengthen your soul quality. A strong soul is less likely to be hosted. These reptilians maneuver with mind games. If you have a strong spiritual belief system that is based on love and goodness, that is poison to them as they can't feed off of it. Also, you have less fear when your spiritual belief system is strong, and fear is one of their favorite emotions. It acts as rocket fuel to their beings. Stay away from drugs and alcohol mainly because a weakened body is like an invitation. Reptilians love to prey off people addicted to methamphetamines, cocaine, painkillers and alcohol. Keep your body healthy and strong. That is what they do once they have fully hosted a body. Eat right, exercise and drink lots of water. Use relaxation techniques, massage, and above all else, have fun. Learn from them but do not act on their base level lest you lower yourself to their standards and become like them. That is a danger in fighting reptilians. In this situation you do not fight fire with fire. For the mood swings or tremendous sleep deprivation, you might see a doctor for some non-addicting medications for this problem. A good night's sleep is so very important in keeping your mind and body strong. Also, herbal remedies are quite good. Don't make any major decisions while under this attack period. Do not go on spending sprees, begin or end relationships or jobs. This is not a good time as your judgment is off. Pray helps. It makes you feel better and it doesn't hurt. Remember, the reptilians can see you transparently. They take advantage at every turn. They cannot make you do things against your will, but they can manipulate you. Realize also that goodness is much stronger than evil. They know this. Love is something they do not understand at all, so that puts them at a disadvantage. The only time you may not have control is if they manage to host your body, but forewarned you can shake this off and prevent this from ever taking place. Let's work together to keep the wolves at bay as we enter the new millennium.